And the washings from pollutions that they had absolutely was pointing them in a different direction than other religion was pointing their adherents. And so there's to be no intermingling or commingling. The reason for that here in the 22nd chapter of Numbers, in Numbers the 22nd chapter and verse 4 to 6, we see that there was other religious activity. Now this is important, because this man by the name of Balaam, Moab said unto the elders of Midian, now shall this company lick up all that are round about us. They understood that Israel would overpower them. And so, in verse 5, they sent messengers unto Balaam, the son of Beor, to Pethor, to curse the people of God. Verse 6. Now, come now, therefore, I pray thee, and curse me this people. Now Balaam was a prophet. Now, what Brother Goodwin is wanting to show you, and I have a reason for showing you this, because there are individuals in this congregation that I want to hear this, is that all religion is not the same. All religious activity is not the same. Now you say, but we have prophets. We spend hours in our service prophesying and praying. And well, there was other religions that did that. Balaam was a prophet. He was a prophet. Now you notice here in the 22nd chapter and verse 8, the king of Moab talks to Balaam and says, lodge here this night. And that's Balaam is telling Balak. He said, lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as the Lord shall speak unto me. Now see, you say, but God spoke to us. That doesn't mean that's the body of Christ. See, that doesn't mean that's the body of Christ. Balaam said, whatever the Lord shall speak unto me is what I'll tell you. Verse 9, and God came to Balaam. Just because someone has an experience with God, has a dream from God, or an angel visits them, does not mean that that's the body of Christ. Now, Balaam was not in the truth. The truth was where Moses was. The truth was where the 12 tribes was. Amen. But God's still coming to Balaam. Now if you met some preacher that God had spoke to, you might walk out of these doors and go follow that preacher. Because you say, Brother Goodwin, have you ever seen God? No. Have you ever seen Jesus Christ? No. Have you ever seen an angel? Yes, one time. I really did. But I've never had experiences like Balaam had. Balaam had experiences that I never have had. And God came to Balaam and said, what are these men that are with thee? And Balaam told God what they wanted. He said in verse 11, told him what they wanted. And God said to Balaam in verse 12, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. He said, I could follow a man like that. I could follow a man if I knew God talked to him. Well, God never did talk to anybody any more than he talked to Balaam. God absolutely talked to Balaam. God talked to him. He said, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. And then they prevail upon Balaam. They beg him. They promise him everything. And so in verse 19, Balaam, he reconsidered.